Greetings, my name is Blaze, and happy Beltane. So today is Beltane, also pronounced by some as Beltane. I don't want to argue over the pronunciation, but just know that if you hear Beltane or Beltane, there, of course, are different ways of pronouncing it, and I guess it could greatly depend on the tradition that you're following. So Beltane, right, as I call it, so I'll refer to it as Beltane for the rest of this video. May 1st. May 1st in the Northern Hemisphere, to be more specific. And depending, of course, on the tradition that you practice, it can also be on the 15th of May in Scotland. And this is, as all of the festivals and equinoxes and solstices of the Wheel of the Year, this is a festival that's a seasonal thing. It's for a period of time. It's not necessarily just on the 1st. However, a lot of folks, especially today, do celebrate it on the 1st. So what is Beltane? Now, first of all, there are numerous different ways of spelling Beltane. Which one's right? Technically, again, it depends on the tradition or path that you follow. So there's not one correct way to spell or pronounce Beltane or Beltane. I, of course, am going to specifically talk about the tradition as it relates to, probably hard to hear me when I'm speaking through the book, but as it relates to the Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids. Now, I want to say to begin with that I am not a spokesperson for OBOD, Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids. I have studied their materials, and I've worked with their Bardic grade, as of this video, for close to 10 years. I think it's good material, and I haven't necessarily moved on yet. So although I don't speak for them, I am going to speak in relation to my experiences not only with working with their material, but obviously also with many of the other books that I've read in different traditions that I personally like to incorporate in my own personal path. Beltane essentially means bright fire or lucky fire. That's one of the ways that it is translated. And there are debates and disputes about whether or not it refers to the god Belinus, who is a sun god of healing. Different interpretations, but the main association with Beltane and the idea behind it is the beginning of summer. And this is something that can be practiced and celebrated regardless of the tradition that you come from or choose to practice yourself. There are many different celebrations that folks have done during Beltane, such as jumping over the Beltane fire. Yes, it can be very dangerous. Yes, it is done outside. But typically there will be a lower fire that's built into the ground, not a huge bonfire that you're leaping over, although I guess folks can do as they see fit. I've seen individuals completely paint themselves from head to toe in red paint, again symbolic of fire in the sun. The color orange is associated with Beltane. New life and sexuality and youth is associated with Beltane. It's new beginnings. Folks typically feel invigorated when the summer comes. Now, I do know that not everybody is a summer or warm weather individual. However, a lot of folks do feel pretty invigorated when it's summer, because it is, again, it's new life, it's fresh air, it's growth. And, there's different stuff that you can do during this time of the year, trying to look and consider things from the perspective of other genders. And I'm saying genders because I'm trying to be cognizant and respectful to those who do identify differently than perhaps their biological gender or the gender they were born with. So, and yes, I realize that there are some individuals who do not identify with either. So in this case, this particular practice might not apply to those individuals, which is fine. However, for those that do identify as male or female, this is the time of the year to start looking and considering the other aspects and the other way that the different gender might think or consider. It's the time of understanding one another. It's this new vision and this new outlook on the world. And this is the perfect time to begin new projects, to do new lessons. So a lot of us, obviously right now, we have the COVID-19 crisis going on. And a lot of us are stuck indoors by choice because we're choosing to quarantine. Some are forced indoors, I guess depends on where you live. But when you are going out, you're trying to keep your distance from other folks. So this is not going to be a time to gather in large groups. However, that doesn't mean that you still can't recognize and celebrate Beltane either from inside or just in your backyard or at a safe distance at a local park. If you are able to get outside into your backyard, all sorts of things can be done, from maypoles to dancing to lighting bonfires. If you're inside, perhaps you can do a miniature maypole if you wanted to do one of those, or you could, of course, do an indoor fire if you have a fireplace. You could light some candles if you're going to be safe with them and watch them. And, of course, then there's the dancing and embracing the youthful vigor that comes with summer. And again, try to go along new paths and new ideas. Try to learn something new. Write a love poem or something along those lines, or just write a poem for the first time ever. Or if you are a poet, write something. Draw something. Craft something. Be creative. Bring new life to something out there. Allow it to come out of your imagination. Allow the inspiration of Awen or Emos to flow through you and inspire you to do some form of creative work. So what have I been doing myself for new invigorating ideas and feeling the inspirational flow? I've actually been drawing. Now, I'm not a great artist. I've got a few doodles here, and this is one of the books that I've done, and you can kind of tell what I'm trying to draw, so I mean, you get the basic idea. Some older photos here, but for lately, I've kind of felt the inspiration. Oh, I gotta show this one, even though it's a little bit of an older one, just from just because it's cool to show some of this stuff. These are the more recent ones that I've done, just the end of this last month here. So yeah, not too shabby, but again, just find that creative flow inside of yourself and just come up with new things that you can draw and bring life to in the world. Like I said, it can be handcrafts, it can be artwork, it can be anything that you feel inspired to do and share with the world. But just do something creative and fun. Have a nice little celebration. And like I said, there's the association, of course, with fire. So you've got candles and can do bonfires or just outdoor fires or something like that in your fireplace, or even indoor in your fireplace. Just something along those lines. That's great too. So again, you may be trapped indoors, but you can still celebrate. And if you are lucky enough and fortunate enough to have a yard or a park that you can safely get to and keep your distance from others, go out there and just be in the light, be in the sun, and enjoy it. So just a few words on Beltane. And like I said, there are many different ways to approach this day, but it's just one of those days, and I think even with everything going on in the world right now, it's a perfect time to just celebrate life. So happy Beltane, and thanks for watching. Remember to thumb up, like, and subscribe. More videos coming your way as always.